You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Larry here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's 70 on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you on a Let's Play episode of Polar Night. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chaining, we're up and let's go. Thanks? Sharif did not react, opening the door back out into the perishing cold. Tabby followed after, not even glancing back. He's, pretty. Intense. Oh, he's pretty. I'm stuck up. No, wrong voice. He's pretty presumptuous. He's, pretty. As I gathered up our stuff, I felt a twinge in my left eye. I froze for a moment. Please, not now. The twinge could either turn into an annoying ache with a feeling of sand under my eyelid. That was the more likely outcome. The other was much less pleasant. Gah! My left eye clamped shut in response to the pain. What's wrong? Gail sounded concerned, but I glanced around desperately for a restroom, spotted the signs for the toilets, and gave them a be right back and quick walk towards them. I could sense their confusion and alarm, but I didn't care right now. Tears were already streaming. Already starting to stream from my eyes with the pain. Once I was in the bathroom, I fished in my jacket pocket for the bottles I kept on me at all times. Diclofenac and Proximedicaine eye drops. In this instance, the Diclofenac wouldn't be strong or fast enough acting. My practiced hand identified the correct bottle from touch alone and pulled out the Proximedicaine. Like I'd done a million times before, I unscrewed the top and sat it on the rim of the sink, quickly washing my hands. The pain was unimaginable. Like an eyeful of sand mixed with a red-hot knife through my eyeball. My hands are trembling now, my face aching from the instinctive scrunching of my face to shut my eye and muzzle wet from the tears. My eyes were in full-blown damage control, flooding themselves to flush out the irritants I believed that was there. Taking the bottle, I tilted my head back, used my other hand to force my left eye open, with great difficulty, and squeezed. One drop. Instantly, a cool and soothing wave of relief banished the worst of the agony. A second drop, and the sandy feeling dissipated. Straight away, my face relaxed as my muscles no longer instinctively tried to keep my eyelids shut. As I hunched over the sink, my breath escaped in one long, heavy sigh. Keeping my eye closed, I allowed the medicine to do its work. I screwed the lid back on the bottle, and slipped it back in my pocket. Leaning over the sink, a mix of tears and the drops leaked from my closed eye, running down my nose. Fuck, my face really hurt. That was a really bad one. Normally these attacks tend to come on more gradually, giving me time to get the diclo drops in before it becomes excruciating. But every so often I get ones like this. I call them thunderclaps, like the headache. The ones my brother used to have. My GP had made it clear to me the proxy was for emergencies only, that overuse could further damage my eye. With these thunderclaps, it could be useless for half an hour in unrelenting agony while waiting for the diclo to kick in. Besides, I was completely blind in my left eye. How much more damage could I do? With the pain gone for now, I straightened up, gazed at my reflection, and regarded my ruined left eye. The milky white cataract was a constant reminder to others of my disfigurement, as if the scar wasn't enough. Garret, are you okay in there? There was a gentle tap at the door. He sounded pretty concerned. Remembering the way I dashed off, I must have looked a proper sight. Yeah, sorry. I quickly wiped my face and fixed my facial fluff. The door creaked open and I saw his worried eyes peeking around the side. You sure? What happened? Seeing I was okay, mostly, he opened the door and stepped inside. Stefan followed closely behind, also looking worried. My eye. I gave a hollow laugh in an attempt to lighten the situation. I get these painful attacks. That's a pretty bad one, even by my standards. I'm okay now, though. I patted my pocket. I have lots of eye drops to keep me going. Aaron and Stefan exchanged looks before smiling and nodding. As long as you're sure, dude. Stefan brightened, though he still had a sympathetic look. I cringed as both of them were now staring directly at my damaged eye. I tried to laugh it off, turning my head to conceal it in as casual a way as I could, tugging my fringe to cover it once again. Seriously, I'm okay. Didn't mean to scare you guys. The pair gave me a searching look, but they finally seemed to relax. Okay, if you're sure. Aaron placed a hand on my shoulder. If you're up for it, we should get going then. He and Stefan both stood aside to let me pass. only to face an anxious-looking Gale. "Oh, Garret! Are you to the men's restroom. Oh, Garret, are you alright?" "Really, I'm okay," I insisted, giving her what I hoped was a reassuring smile. I noticed she was holding my backpack and gloves. "Honestly, it happens. Just something to live with. I didn't mean to scare you," I assured her, gratefully accepting my belongings from her. She gave me a smile and waited for me to put my gloves back on before handing me my pack. I thought you were going to throw up or something." Once my pack was back on, we made our way to the door. Sharif and Tabby were both waiting and looking pretty pissed. "What took you so long?" Tabby looked like she was about to launch into a diatribe, but Gale cut her off. "Enough, Tabby." The first time I saw Gale flash a genuinely angry look. Tabby opened her mouth to speak, but surprisingly Gale's glare was enough to make her shut up. "If we are all ready." Sharif didn't even try to hide the irritation in his voice. With the flourish of his arm, we all started tromping through the snow in the direction of the long Yerbian harbor. For a while we marched in awkward silence, the embers of camaraderie we'd kindled during our coffees mostly snuffed out. I normally didn't mind walking in silence around others, but given the awkward tension in the air right now, I'd give anything to be somewhere else. I prayed to God the voyage wouldn't be like this. As the nerves very much jangled, my hand automatically reached for my smokes. I yanked a cig from the pack with my teeth and reached in my other pocket for my lighter. As I flicked it and drew, I noticed Stefan was watching me intently. I clicked my lighter shut and patted my pocket holding my smokes. "Want one?" Oh, no thank you." What voice was I doing for Stefan? Yeah, there you go. "Oh, no, thank you. I was just looking at your lighter." I raised one eyebrow. "Oh, what about it?" "Is it an Elisoran?" My smoke dropped in my mouth. My smoke drooped in my mouth, very nearly slipping out as I gave him a dumbfounded look. You know your stuff," I admitted, utterly amazed. He gave me a cheeky grin, pleased by my astounded reaction. "I collected them when I was younger. Never had that one, but I recognize it from old catalogs." His smug grin was replaced by a more longing look. "Could I see it? Just for a sec?" I noticed we'd fallen a few good feet behind the others. I guess it was good that Sharif and Tabby didn't bitch at us for holding them back. Besides, I was more at ease talking to one person than five. I hesitated for a moment with the lighter, and I slowly placed it in his outstretched hand. He gave me a grateful smile, then pulled off both of his gloves and tucked them under his arm so he could inspect it more easily. He turned it over in his hands, running a single finger down the very faded embossed design on its face before flicking it open. Oh, may I?" He gave me a look that was more of a pleading one than of curiosity. I nodded, kind of taken aback by his fascination. When it sparked into life, first time, naturally, he gazed into the flame with a look of awe. He actually stopped in his tracks for a moment, transfixed. I stopped too, watching him with a growing sense of bewilderment. I tentatively reached out and snapped the lid shut, snuffing the flame before pulling it from his hands. He blinked, seemingly snapping out of a trance. Sorry. It's just such a pretty lighter. Well preserved and maintained, too." "Thanks. Belonged to my grandpa. He got it during the Second World War. Damn, it's in great condition, all things considered. Bet your Gramps had stories to tell." My tail, very much not by my wheel, began to sway as my mood brightened. It was kind of annoying that us canids and lupines had such obvious tales of our moods. Other people found it cute and endearing, even though we often couldn't help it. Hell, I don't remember too much about his stories. He never really spoke much about the war, except for complaining about how his squad kept stealing his smokes. He died when I was pretty young. Actually, this belonged to my brother before I got it. "Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Still, it's awesome you got such a memento. It's a little piece of history, you know?" My tail swayed more vigorously and I grinned. Oddball he may be, but I liked him. Neither Gale and Aaron had slowed to intercept us, so we'd been walking faster than I thought. The pair clustered with us, Gale and Aaron a few steps behind while Stefan and I walked side by side. "I was meaning to ask." Gale gave me a concerned look. "Do you get those painful episodes with your eye often?" I swallowed and felt a pang in my chest, again with my eye. I took another draw from my smoke, giving myself a moment to consider. "Not that often, no. Usually it isn't that bad, and I use my eye drops anyway, which typically stops it. And I took another long draw before adding, cold weather makes it worse, so I brought a shitload of eye drops with me. No, I'm glad. It didn't look like fun that time. It didn't look like a fun time, she said with a sympathetic understatement. Sorry, y'all. Must have been quite the accident to do that to your face. Perhaps it was the presumptuous way he phrased it, or my growing impatience with the subject. Whatever it was, my limbs tightened and my fur bristled. My slowly swaying tail paused and raised, curling upwards. Before I could stop myself, my lip quivered, exposed a single fang while my chest vibrated with a soft growl. Aaron's tone was sympathetic, but I didn't care. I was shutting this shit down right now. A sharp, acrid scent of burnt lemons hit my nostrils, a scent of fear and alarm. Driven by the two new similar but distinct scents, Gale and Stefan were also clearly alarmed by my reaction. I mean, what I meant was, it must have really hurt. Stefan and Gale gave him withering looks. The tip of my smoke glowed brightly as I inhaled deeply, closing my eyes and settling myself. As I calmed down, my prickling fur settled and I hid my fangs. As the anger subsided, guilt and shame took its place. Our action was instinctual, yes, but over the top. I really didn't want to add to the awkwardness that had already marred our first impressions. Don't worry about it, I get that a lot. They each gave me relieved looks. Still, I wanted more than anything to change the subject. Gale, Tabby mentioned you were looking for your mum. I very much wanted to get off the topic. Maybe digging at someone else's wound would suffice. Oh, yes, our mom. Emma Waters. She's the ship's doctor. Main reason I decided to go into nursing, actually. Cool. Did she ever mention Alex at all? Alexander Golubev? His face shone with excitement. Oh, yeah, the cook, isn't he? She told me stories about him. Quite a character. That's my bro. Stefan beamed widely. I learned how to cook from him. Can't wait to introduce you. His goulash is to die for. What kind of voice should I do for Stefan? Been a while since I played this game. Kind of forgot what voice I did for him. Took a second for me to catch the last part. Introduce. Wait. You still think they're alive? Aaron spoke my thoughts aloud. Of course. Just wait till you meet Alex. He's just the best storyteller. And a cook. Oh man, one time he made the best honey roasted. Aaron had a clear look of confusion. When he met my eyes, we both raised a brow. Gale, on the other hand, listened intently, smiling and nodding along like he wasn't mad. Both of them knew the Aran had been missing for 2 years. Right? The IRV Aran. An enormous Arctic research vessel tasked with studying Greenland glaciers. The ship that vanished without a trace 2 years ago. The ship my older brother served aboard. Sharif's letter came out of the blue, a few months after the search was called off. I remember my mom screaming. The first display of emotion she'd had in months. I sprinted down the stairs, alarmed to find her clutching the letter with tears in her eyes and an excited grin. There you go. I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!